Let me tell you a short story. So, long time ago, I received this email. That was, I think, when I was still working. Last time, last time, internet meme passed around through email, not on Facebook, because Facebook wasn't invented yet. So there was this, there's this email story about this. I think it's let me just jump straight into the story. So there's this old lady who who owns this house, and then behind her house, the backyard, it leads to an open field. So every weekend, she will see this group of young boys playing football, and then she would it's an interesting break for her, from her week's schedule. So she will spend the weekend sitting in her backyard and then enjoying the soccer show, soccer match. But the boys were just playing by themselves. So one day she decided to like prepare a treat for them. So she prepared some cakes, some soft drinks, and when they finished and they walked past her house, she waved to them, and motioned for them to come. And then they came over, and then she was like, "Come, come. Um, I have prepared some snacks. Why don't you all come and join me?" So they were a bit hesitant, but she's like an elderly old lady, and then she was like, I've been watching you all play soccer every week, and you all play so well, Yeah, and I enjoy watching you all play. Yeah, it's like watching a soccer match. Yeah, she's old enough to be like their mother, so it's not going in that direction. Then, so they came and joined her for tea. So after that, when they are done, then they say thank you and they went off that way. The following week, again they came and played, and again she prepared some snacks. She sat there, watched them play, and then when they finished, they walked past, and she again gestured for them to come and join. And this time around, they were less hesitant. They just came in and just joined the snacks. And this go on for quite a few weeks. And before long, after the match, they just walked straight to her house for for the for the refreshment. And then one week, uh, she she didn't prepare the same set. She, in fact, I think she prepared lesser. Yeah, maybe she only prepared the drinks, or maybe she just prepared the cakes. Uh, and then the boys were like a bit disgruntled, like, "Hey, how come today there's no cakes?" Huh? Then she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm getting old, and sometimes I forget. Next week I'll prepare." Then they were like a bit disappointed. Then the following week they came and play again, and again they came over. And this week she forget something else, and then they were getting a bit upset. Like, can this be? Like we usually have our cakes and our drinks, and then eventually one week she totally didn't prepare anything. But they didn't know, so they still came to her house, and then they were like, "Eh, why isn't there any drinks or cake?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot all about it. Next week, I'll prepare for you." So next week, They still came and play soccer. And then they still, after soccer, they still came to her house. And again, she was like, "Ayah, goodness me, I didn't prepare." Oh, now they were getting a bit upset. But they didn't do anything, like they walk off disappointed. What's interesting is that then the following week, lesser boys came to play soccer. Yeah. And each week they came back to play soccer. They came to her house and walked off disappointed. And eventually, nobody came to play soccer. Yeah. As I recall this email or this story that I read, I don't know whether it's a true story, but I think it was supposed to be a true story. And it was a story about motivation, intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. The boys, when they were playing soccer initially, they were intrinsically motivated. They wanted to do it. They had fun. They didn't need any other reasons to play soccer. Then, but over time, with the treats that the lady offered them, their motivation started to shift. Yeah. And some of them started to shift from intrinsic to extrinsic. Yeah. They started to play soccer because there's a treat. And by the time it becomes like that, all you have to do is take away the external motivation, and then there's no more motivation to play soccer. Yeah. When I saw this long time ago, I thought this is quite interesting, and I wonder how true this is in all cases. Yeah, I wonder how true this is in all cases. Because for myself, I do a lot of things not because there's some reward out of it. I do a lot of my some of my friends would look at me and think that I'm quite stupid. Because I was involved in so many ECAs. I do a lot of volunteer work. I do a lot of things that doesn't directly give me any reward. Yeah. I mean, eventually programming gave me quite a bit of a reward. But I did this for 10 over years without any reward, other than the fact that I enjoy doing it. In a way, that is a reward. But it's an intrinsic thing that I find pleasure in doing it. I find some meaning in doing it. Yeah. If I started learning to write programs, to write games, with the intent that, oh, in future, I want to be a consultant. In future, I want to be a software engineer. I don't know whether I can sustain myself through through secondary school, JC, through NS, through university. I don't know whether I can sustain my motivation all the way, because it takes too long, from 13 years old until I'm 20, 25, 24, 25. That's 10 over years, And in between, you have no idea whether it's going to work out. And even after 11 years, 11 or 12 years, it's not a certainty, because there are those who, after finishing their degree, they had a hard time finding a job. And even there are those who find a job and they realize then that, oh, this is not what I want to do. So if I did programming with a mindset that, oh, that is the goal, and in a sense, like, oh, I want that kind of job, and I don't know how much that will sustain me. But more importantly is the internal, external, intrinsic, extrinsic kind of motivation. Yeah. There's this saying, this Buddhist saying that I've been sharing for many years. 初心易发，恒心难持。初心易发，恒心难持。Yeah, this 初心 is the initial motivation, the initial intent of doing anything, whether it's playing soccer or writing code, or any of your personal goal, be it worldly goals or spiritual goals. Easy to have that initial motivation, initial intent, initial aspiration. 恒心难持, to have the determined intent, to have the perseverance, the determination, all the way. That's not easy. That's not easy. I guess especially so for cultivation. For cultivation. Maybe that's why all the Lao和尚seldom praise their students, because initially the students practice because they find meaning in it, they find value in it, they know that it's good for them. But then if the student practice or the student do a service, then if the Lao和尚praise, after a few more praise, the praise is like the snacks, After a while, if the Lao和尚never praise, what? How come never praise me? then you're not doing your practice for the right reason anymore. You're doing for praises. You're doing for the Lao和尚to affirm, to say something. Be it your personal cultivation, be it your what do you call it? Or let's say you do some service for the community. Have to be careful. Have to be careful. Otherwise, you'll be like the soccer boys. Eventually, stop playing soccer. Of course, soccer is no big deal. But if you know what I mean, don't give up the practice for praises. 阿弥陀佛。愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了。
不愿罪障悉消除，
普愿罪障悉消除，
世世畅行菩萨道。
世世畅行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖。
have a snack-free day ahead. Yes. Is this the first time for Pei Shan to join us? Say hello to Pei Shan. Say goodbye to Pei Shan. Good to see you join us. All right, have a snack-free day ahead. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sư Phụ.
Thank you, Sư Phụ.